polarization, nationalism, racism, and ultimately increased social unrest and conflicts. But we have another choice. We can build a new social contract, particularly integrating the next generation. We can change our behavior to be in harmony with nature again. And we can make sure that the technologies of the fourth industrial revolution are best utilized to provide us with better lives. In short, we need a great reset.
By now, you've probably heard the phrase, the Great Reset. You can't switch on the news or go online these days without some mention of the term. But what does it mean? Well, who better to explain his plan than the executive chairman of the World Economic Forum and author of the book, The Great Reset, Klaus Schwab. Here he is in June 2020 at the Great Reset launch event.
Countries and people came together to shape the post-war global order, which brought us decades of peace, increased global cooperation, and prosperity to hundreds of millions of people around the world. The COVID-19 crisis has shown us that our old systems are not fit anymore for the 21st century. It has laid bare the fundamental lack of social cohesion, fairness, inclusion, and equality. Now is the historical moment, the time, not only to fight severe virus, but to shape the system for the need for the post-corona era. We have a choice to remain passive, which would lead to the amplification of many of the trends we see today: polarization, nationalism, racism, and ultimately increased social unrest and conflicts. But we have another choice. We can build a new social contract, particularly integrating the next generation. We can change our behavior to be in harmony with nature again. And we can make sure that the technologies of the fourth industrial revolution are best utilized to provide us with better lives. In short, we need a great reset.
This is no longer a conspiracy theory. This is a global plan constructed by the world's richest and most influential people, and it's all there, laid out in stages for everyone to read. There's an official website you can visit with articles and videos and promotional material. There's a book you can buy, written by Klaus Schwab, called The Great Reset. And for those of you on the go, you can even subscribe to the Great Reset podcast. You can stay up to date with the elite's plan for global domination in easy-to-palate 1-hour chunks. And this doesn't stop with the adults. There's also a fun message from everyone's favourite Sesame Street character, Grover, in the latest episode of the Great Reset podcast.
Hello, everybody. It is I, your cute and adorable pal Grover, with a message for listeners of the Great Reset. Well, you are in luck because I know a thing or two about resetting. I reset my alarm clock every morning. But you are talking about resetting the entire world. Now that is a very big job. Well, my friend Ms. Sherry Weston and I are here to help. On Sesame Street, we know that it is very important for children to learn and play every day. And because playtime is so important, we have been thinking of ways to help children all over the world learn and play at home. At first, it was hard when nobody could go to school, and I could not visit my friends like Elmo or, well, even Oscar the Grouch. Then we learned to have video playtime, which was a lot of fun and made us feel better.
They're using any source possible to indoctrinate us and our children into thinking that this new normal is the new future. The World Economic Forum is the international organization for public-private cooperation, consisting of global leaders from government, business, civil society, the arts, and academia. The forum's various platforms are curated and supported by more than 800 team members coming from 80 countries. Their vision is clear. In their own words, to leverage our trusted status as the global platform for shaping the future of economic, social, and industry systems. Here is Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau speaking at a recent press conference.
Canada believes that a strong, coordinated response across the world and across sectors is essential. This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. This is our chance to accelerate our pre-pandemic efforts to reimagine economic systems that actually address global challenges like extreme poverty, inequality, and climate change.
Implementing the plan was easy. They created enough fear and distractions via the state-sponsored media networks, and while we were all fighting amongst ourselves, becoming more and more divided, they were just waiting for the right catalyst to push the Great Reset in motion. In 2019, word was spreading of a virus in Wuhan, China. A virus that was about to change the world in such a way that life would never be the same again. Originally told that we would be on lockdown for a few weeks, countries have now been brought to their knees for the best part of a year, with no end in sight. Businesses have closed, families have been kept apart, education disrupted, working from home has become the new normal, international travel has all but stopped. We've been kept in a constant loop of fear and confusion, dividing societies further and further to the point where we're scared to leave our own homes. But you can't blame the public. We're fed a constant stream of conflicting information. It was only 9 months ago that we were seeing videos of Chinese people falling dead in the streets, being welded in their homes by the government.
This woman apparently being taken against her will by China's newly deployed quarantine squads. A man also pulled from the apartment, forcibly taken down the stairs. Across China, disturbing videos on social media appear to show the extreme measures taken to control the outbreak. Here, workers in hazmat suits detain a young couple, putting them into a metal box. A child's voice asks why. The adult answers because they're sick. And you can hear the screams. Earlier this week, the government in Wuhan released an edict, round up suspected coronavirus cases, and if the person refuses to cooperate, it said, public security shall enforce.
Now, just 5 months later, with the rest of the world on lockdown, China is back on its feet and social distancing seems nothing but a distant memory. So why do we need a Great Reset? If China, the epicenter of the virus, a country with over 1 billion people, can recover in such a short time, why are we now being told that we can't go back to the way things were before? The reason is, this has nothing to do with COVID, or any other virus. This has been a plan in the making for decades, just sat there waiting for the right moment to launch. One such evidence of this is the COVID Transformation Map, a part of the Great Reset Plan, available on the World Economic Forum's own website. It details the parts that every organisation and sector will play in the plan. The Transformation Map shows all the different plans for COVID and how they're all linked together. The design is laid out to show you which areas are linked directly or indirectly to the virus. The areas linked directly to COVID are the media's role during COVID, response and recovery, workforce impact, avoiding the spread of infection, finding a vaccine, the impact on trade, impact on travel, and the impact on financial markets. But then if you look at the other outer ring, you see the impact each of these has on other aspects of life, such as global governance, European Union, transformation of behavioral science, international travel and international security, oil and gas, internet governance, and human rights values. This is all available for anyone to access. Just visit the World Economic Forum's website and see for yourself. You can click on any of the nodes, and this will expand the different publications related to this subject. The scale of this project is huge. It will change life as we know it forever. So how did they orchestrate this plan in under a year? Well, they didn't. This transformation map has been publicly available since 2017, 2 years before COVID. You can see the information on the website of the World Economic Forum, and even watch their promotional videos from the same year. The only difference now is that they added an extra section for COVID and have an algorithm set up that pulls in relevant articles that support the plan from various affiliate sites. The bottom line is, this is an existing plan that has been rebranded as the Great Reset, and COVID was the perfect excuse to launch. And we, as a whole, just sat back and let it unfold. Of course things need to change. We're a world divided. There are senseless wars, poverty, slavery, and an ever-increasing divide between the top 2% and the rest of the world. But why do we trust this same 2% to lay out a plan which affects the lives of 7+ billion people without any say or vote in the plan? And now we're seeing prominent figures and politicians getting behind the Great Reset, drip-feeding us buzzwords and phrases, promising us a better, more inclusive future. This is about one thing: control. Please visit the World Economic Forum website, look at the transformation map, read some of the articles and see for yourself what's in store for 2021 and beyond. We need to be informed and ask questions at every turn before we lose what freedoms we still have left. If you think lockdowns, no music festivals, empty restaurants and social distancing were bad now, it's nothing compared to what's in store.